Hello, Nadja. Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it because I think you are very busy. Um, so please introduce yourself and say who you are, what you're doing, why you do it, and yeah. And later on, I'll ask you how you met. But anyway, just introduce yourself.
Hey Tobias, thanks for having me in your show. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
I'm Nadine, the singer of Art Noir. Um, we are here to talk about our next album, Poems of an Extinct Species, which will be released next January. Maybe the meaning of the voice, words, and human nature. Yes, and I'm curious what we will explore and what will come naturally today.
Thank you. So, in the pre-talk, you told me that this band is from Jan. So, Art Noir is Jan's project. He makes all the music, and you contribute the voices, and the vocals, and also the lyrics, as far as I understand, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So, how did you meet?
Jan contacted me, I think it was in 2008, because he knew me from my times within Strict Confidence. He knew my
Hmm.
voice.
Hmm.
He liked it and he asked me if we could cooperate on
Hmm.
some pieces because he produced his new album. I listened to his music. I loved it. I loved the
Hmm.
atmosphere. And I said, yeah, okay, let's do it. Then we met in Berlin
Hmm.
in a coffee house and we're talking about music, life, the soul.
Hmm.
And we agreed that we should do music together.
Of course, you should.
And then we actually already met the next time again in Berlin in a studio and recorded our first song, which was released on the album Silent Green. It was
Hmm.
also called Silent Green. And there was another one, Brother of Sleep. Yeah, that's how we met. And
And
the next time we
and the,
saw each other was actually last February. Yeah.
okay, and here he also so did you also write the lyrics here? So was there just I mean in brackets just music or were the lyrics already prepared or some ideas of what to sing because um, well, Silent Green, right? So it's kind of. I think I talked with him before. It's like Soylent Green or so. So there's some certain things, so like movie references and stuff. So this was the first time you worked with him. Was it already prepared, or did you still could contribute your vocals and I mean your lyrics, your vocals, of course.
Yeah. I could. But sometimes it is like this with us that the title already exists. And it
Mm-hmm.
was
Ah,
also
okay.
like this with our new album. Yeah, Jan is a film composer and very much interested in film
Mm-hmm.
or movies. And of course, the Soylent Green reference is quite clear, but it's maybe I can tell you about the process because we are actually already talking about the process, how we are doing music together,
Oh yeah, just please
and
do.
and with me, it's first there are the words,
Mm-hmm.
then I get the music of someone. I also worked with others.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when the voice merges words with the sound, our songs are born.
Mm-hmm.
So, my fundament of a song is always a scene, a scenery, a situation, a memory, or a message which is wrapped into a coat of words. Then I play with the music I get. I explore the emotions, the images, which are transported by the sound of my companions, and I develop a melody with my words, melted with the music.
Mm-hmm.
It always happened like this, with one exception. I had vocals recorded for another project, which did not happen in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent these recordings to Jan and asked him to do some magic, to wrap it into an art noir code, so to say.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You will hear the result in January. But as I described the process, it happened with Silent Green. Brother
Mm-hmm.
of Sleep was written by Jan.
Okay.
So the lyrics were written by Jan, and the vocal melody was already prepared or composed as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So here you just kind of got it already prepared, and you just have to sing it, basically.
Yeah, it's mostly it's the lyrics and the melody of the voice, the vocals
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm creating. Hmm?
Okay. Cool. So maybe we get this out of the way. Um, you said you met Jan, and can you say something about Jan's condition, so that we just have talked about this too, and then I don't want to bring it up anymore.
Yeah. When I saw Jan first, he was still healthy, standing in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next time I heard from him that he was diagnosed with ALS. It's
Mm-hmm.
a neurodegenerative neuromuscular disease.
Mm-hmm.
And the fascinating thing in all this pain and this hard situation is that he is still composing music, because music is everything
Mm-hmm.
to
Is
him.
his life? Is his lifeblood,
It's his
basically?
life,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And as it is very important for him to communicate still, which is now possible with his eyes only,
Mm-hmm.
he still can produce music.
Mm-hmm.
For our album, which will be released in January, he composed the first drafts 5 years ago on the keyboard. So we worked with fragments.
Mm-hmm.
And the last year he worked with this eye controlling device
Mm-hmm.
and produced it. I think in Cubase it's possible to do this. It's a bit slower, of course, but we had the help of two super producers, Stefan from In Strict Confidence,
Mm-hmm.
Stefan Vesper, who's also a drummer, and Thomas Navas from Lost in the Void. They had very good feeling for Jan's music, and so they helped us, but Jan did a lot for himself.
Mm-hmm.
So via this eye controlling device. And maybe it's a sign for everyone that when you are in this condition, you can still produce and create and be
Mm-hmm.
alive
Mm-hmm.
and move through the sound,
Yeah,
communicate through the sound.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and he's still also quite active. I follow him on Twitter, and
Yes.
he's quite an advocate there, and so I mean, so he's still writing, and he's still still kind of participating in life in this kind of capacity. He's of course not fully there as a. I mean, he's fully there. But not he cannot go out. But anyway, we have in which time and age we are right now. So
Yeah.
for him, nothing changes at the moment, I guess. So okay,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. So we talked about this because this was a little bit. I talked to you in the pre-talk that I kind of got it completely wrong, and so yeah. But he has a sense of humor, and from
Yes,
the
he
from the
does.
emails.
Yeah.
From the email conversation we have, yeah, I think he's a cool guy, and I would have liked to meet him, but I completely understand this is not possible at the moment.
Yeah.
So you already said that he's a film composer. So I also see he paints with music. Basically, this is how I see it. He paints landscapes and stuff. So now we shift to you, back to you. So you said the lyrics are first, but how do you usually okay, anyway, you get the music from him, right? The soundtracks, or do you work with the fragments first and then develop? So can you just give me the whole process how you usually get to the end result of the song?
Mm-hmm. So as you said, I'm really getting the fragments.
Mm-hmm.
And then mostly I have also some fragments of words or songs, as I told you before. So there is the fragment of sound and the fragment of a story.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have a title, which is mostly a working title, but I'm experimenting to this already and to the feeling I get from the music, from Jan's music.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interpreting it with a story and also with a voice. Sometimes we prepare it and say, we want to go in this direction or more in this direction, but actually that's happening later in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm preparing something, I'm playing with vocal melodies, I'm recording it for him. He's listening to it and says, "Oh no, please don't do that." Or he says, "Oh wow, it's wonderful."
Okay.
um, and then we are renting a studio. This
Mm-hmm.
time we were working very closely with Thomas first and then with Stefan.
Mm-hmm.
And Jan gave his feedback to the recordings. I'm very free to do it, but of course we are one band, and so
Mm-hmm.
When someone said, "No, I don't want it like this," there were discussions already, but
but
but in the end,
mm-hmm.
it happened as we both agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we are recording it. Then the song is formed, and he's working on the song. He's further working on the song,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the end, we have the end product.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's always a process. I don't get songs that are completely final.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't like to do it like this. I don't like this approach that you get a thingy, a complete song, and then you have to sing. Sing it like this, or have a melody. Sing the
So you
melody
have
like this.
some more creative freedom, basically. You can kind of explore things, and this comes with a territory. If you explore, that you sometimes hit the nail on the head, or I can imagine that this is always a good thing if two people working on something, because I'm pretty sure he has a melody in his head and kind of like your voice should be, but you are different. You have a different approach. You have a different surrounding that kind of influences you, and you give him something that he wouldn't think about. And that's how the magic of music happens, at least in my eyes. That you if two creative minds come together, something more. There's a meta Ebene. Oh, sorry, I don't know in English, but you know what I mean.
Level, maybe
There's
dimension.
there's another dimension, another level. This kind of two forces join, and then something more happen than just you. Basically, as far as I both know you now, I'm pretty sure you both could make a great song by yourself, but if you join your creative powers, something more will happen, and then something unexpected can happen too, because he directs you in a direction you haven't thought about, and vice versa. You show him hey, this is something I came up here, and this is the really, that's the magic in music, when something like this happens, and I really like that. And I heard already some songs, of course. And
you did. You already got from
the
the new
the Thorns and what was the name? I wasn't so. This is from a new album, right? Thorns and Lilies.
Thorns and Lilies is our single track.
Yeah, exactly. This I will also play in my radio show. So and I played Silent Green. I think this is the first time I got in contact with him. Anyway, so what I want to say is, it's very unusual music, not really how you say, run of the mill, not something von der Stange, something that you just get somewhere. It's very special, but it's I like it. It's a dreamy thing. It kind of takes you on a journey, and this is it's elegant and delicate, and yeah, very kind of thought-provoking, because it kind of, it's not like a dull background soundtrack where you just what you could hear in an elevator or something, it's just it just goes.
Yeah.
It is more than that, it kind of asks you to pay attention. That's what I mean, but not in a forceful way, like with punk song. And here you kind of get you slowly get into the listener's brain, and I like that. It's a very I don't think you know so much about my radio channel. My radio show is very gothic and dark wave and industrial metal. That's what I usually play. So you're kind of the fringe artist for me. Yeah, I mean, without saying that you're better or worse than anyone else, it's just you are not the usual suspects for my channel, but
Yeah.
I got you. I think I got there is something special here, and even if it's not heart pounding industrial rhythms, it's kind of very engaging, and I really like that. So I realized as you were talking that I forgot to press a little bit on about your background. So you haven't really told us. I mean, as I told you before, just tell us what you want to tell us. But you're not falling from the sky. So where are you coming from? What was your musical upbringing? So how did you learn, to use your voice in the way you do? What was your you already alluded to, you were in strict confidence, it sounded like.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little, how you say, a little background of you, as deeply as you want, but, just a few headlines maybe.
First, thank you for the beautiful description of our music.
You're
It's
very
very
welcome.
heartwarming, and it means much to not only me, but it will also to Jan.
I hope so.
Um,
I hope you will check it out what we're talking about.
yeah, maybe I start. Yeah, there are actually three topics I could say, which gives me my musical background, where I come from, why I started to make music, and how the process of making music happened. First, maybe I can talk about my favorite music, and that's actually difficult for me to grasp music stylistically myself to a genre or scene.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit.
The sound I like it. Was it
just check. Maybe I don't know if you have anything else running on your computer. Check it and close everything. What you don't need now.
I actually don't.
Don't.
Maybe
Okay,
I
good.
will
No, now
close
it was
another
just
browser.
a little glitch here.
Yeah,
Now you're back. Okay.
it can happen. Okay. The sound I like is mostly electronic. Sometimes a bass that hits, but I also love heavy guitars, piano, classical music, chansons. It's a feeling that has to be conveyed that hits me. It's always a longing for something ineffable somehow. But the music itself was actually never the reason for me to create music.
Okay.
It is the word, and to give the word a sound. And it's also to use this ancient instrument of voice, which we all have and share, to bring something into the world and to express what is inside of us. That's the reason for me doing music. And I started as a little girl. I was singing all the time, actually. And the classical thing, my instruments are always or my instrument is always my body.
Mm-hmm.
It's the voice, and I also count or include dancing.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
So I'm not performing anymore
Mm-hmm.
in generally. So not in Corona times,
Mm-hmm.
but the voice and the movements of the body. This is what I see as my instruments.
Mm-hmm.
And I had classical singing lessons. I had jazz singing lessons. No education at university or something like this. It was just for fun and to train my voice. Um, then, yeah, the first band I really worked with was In Strict Confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I was the first female lead singer,
Mm-hmm.
accompanying Dennis, the lead singer. I was with them for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I had another smaller project with someone else called Nadja. And then I actually already met Jan.
Okay.
Yeah. And so music for me, it's a profession I'm doing for 20 years, but it's not my main profession.
Okay.
Music is important for me in an artistic way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I may ask, you don't have to answer this, of course. So, what is your main profession then? This is music is more like a hobby or like a little bit more than a hobby, I guess.
Yeah.
But this means you don't live from music. If you want to share, if you don't, then we just go on.
I'm writing and do editing, and I'm consulting people in their own language, how to
Hmm.
use their own language, and that's not the language, not then not
Your
yeah.
native tongue
I'm
or
not
something?
teaching German
Mm.
or English or something like this,
Mm.
but I try to find the core language. How do I communicate myself
The
to
core
someone
language.
else with, and being still true to myself?
Ah, okay, okay. So, hmm. Now you kind of conjure up more questions when you answered.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
You can
So tell. Okay, okay. If you don't mind, when because we get a little bit sidetracked here, but that's absolutely fine. Um, so. Okay, let me see if I get what you're doing. You kind of help people to express themselves, right? So
Mhm.
that they kind of get because most people suppress certain facts of themselves or certain things, and that's absolutely fine because a human being is not always just black or white. He has multiple facets, and there's different things in all of us. I have some bad sides and some good sides, and and I need to suppress some sides, some anger issues or whatever. That's absolutely normal. And but from what I think you're doing is kind of sometimes people suppress too much. And in order to become a whole person, you need to be able to kind of connect with every part of yourself. This means also with your bad stuff. This doesn't mean you have to be a bad person, but it means that you kind of know that you have some bad thoughts and some. It doesn't need to be actions, or just some bad ideas and some things that are not so good. But you need to know them in order to be a whole person. Do I get it right, kind of?
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah. So, okay, so you're kind of like okay, this sounds a little bit cheesy or cheap, like a life coach, a life trainer, something like that. So a little bit.
No, I would say, yeah, language coach or word coach would be the
Hmm.
better way
Hmm.
because I'm really working with language. I'm a linguist. I'm a writer by heart.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would say life coach. I'm not Of
Yeah,
course,
okay.
it's an
Mm.
important element in life because we
Hmm.
are communicating with people, and
Mm.
when we don't communicate as ourselves,
Mm.
as our whole selves, as you put it very nicely, then that's not a very good uh, basis or
Hmm.
fundament for our life with others. And also, it can create many misunderstandings, which lead to behavior which is really destroying things.
Unhealthy,
That's
yeah.
actually what
Mm.
we see in the world, and that's actually the connection to our new album again. What we are doing to nature, what
You're a
we are
good
doing
marketing
to
person.
ourselves. Yeah, sometimes I also do copywriting for an agency.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because you brought this up, and because you kind of insist on the language part. I get it. I read Nietzsche, and Nietzsche was about that you only can. The language kind of gives you the guide rails to what you can express. And if you don't have a word for it, you either need to invent it or you cannot express this feeling or
Mhm.
this idea or this thing. So just on your own thoughts, because we're doing this now in English here, but we're both German speakers, so we are
Yeah.
talking in a different language. How important, or how do you, this is really what I'm interested in, just because you brought it up. How important do you think is language in expressing ideas, or like you coach other people to express yourself? How is it? Um, could it be in any language, or are certain languages are better or worse, or um, can you answer this? Because there is like if you say I don't want to say the Inuit. I don't want to say Eskimo because it's not maybe the right term. They have like 20 words for snow, but we only can say, okay, don't eat the yellow snow, and this whatever. Um, so certain languages have certain emphasis on words, and
Yeah.
so the Germans kind of call themselves the Dichter und Denker, the thinker and poetry writers. I'm not really sure if we are that anymore. Some of the Germans are not very
I'm,
dicht.
I
But
agree.
you are
Some
most
of,
likely.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
so so yeah. Anyway, you got my question. So how do you think that the language you talk kind of gives you different perspectives of life? Maybe it's a tough question and maybe not easy to answer. But after I read Nietzsche, I was thinking about, because I speak English quite well and German, of course. This is my mother tongue, and I learned Russian in school. I'm East German. I can speak a little
yeah,
bit Russian.
trust me.
But yeah, how important is that? Do you think? It's just your own opinion.
It's a very interesting question, and actually, I did lots of research already for
Mm-hmm.
this
Hmm.
because I think that we are only using a limited amount of words in our mother tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And like we can take, as you mentioned, the Inuit and their language and the possibilities to express snow
Mm-hmm.
or to describe snow, it's better.
Mm-hmm.
There are also other languages where you can express certain emotions
Mm-hmm.
and certain conditions in nature or in life. And I think that everyone in every language can create this cosmos of words
Mm-hmm.
in his or her own language. Um, we just have to be very inventive,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to use our own language. It's a huge vocabulary in all of our languages, and I also try to inspire people to use it. or to explore it. Really work with the dictionaries, work with what comes to their mind to be creative in language.
Expressive.
Expressive, exactly, especially when it's about emotions. The problem is that you still, the others still have to be able to understand you, but that's the thing, you know. We are talking that others understand us, and in my opinion that's not a good way. That's what marketing does. This group of people, the target group, has to understand what you want from them, so you can't be yourself. As an artist, for example, you want to present your work on a website, and I have to write it like this. Otherwise, no one
to get it mainstream and mainstream approval and not hurt anyone and not
exactly. So I want to inspire people that they have the courage to express themselves, so that others have the chance to reflect what they say. And when people are not interested in a person, you know, and want them to be standard and like a pattern, what are we then? You know, we are not a pattern.
Really boring then. You know, it's kind of, I'm not interested. So, you know, that's one of the reasons we're talking today, because like I said, I'm a radio DJ. I get lots of music and I can talk with a lot of different people, but I choose the people I want to talk about, and I only take the ones I'm interested in, where I kind of feel there is something more behind it than just, you know, there is something in the music that is special, you know, where we want to really say something. And so I completely agree with you. You know, that's kind of, it's all like whitewashed, and everyone is kind of trying to not hurt anyone and stuff. But and that's good. You know, I don't want to advocate that we hurt people on purpose. But on the other hand, we are not ourselves anymore. And it's impossible as a person not to hurt or offend anyone, because it's kind of, you are your person, and it will just happen that you will say something that will hurt you. Just a you know, okay, we're really off topic, but it doesn't matter. I'm absolutely for, you know, gay marriage and whatever. You know, if you love someone, live with him, marry him or her or whatever. I don't really care, because it's not my thing that what you do in your bedroom. If there's two consenting adults, fine, do whatever you want to do. But just in saying this, I hurt my parents, because they're very, very traditional and you know, Christian. So, and this is where I want to, you know, what I hear out from your talk is that you. This is not a bad thing I'm saying, but I'm hurting someone. But if I don't say it, then I'm not true to myself, and then I will not hurt my parents, but I will not be the person I am. And this kind of will hurt me, because what I see in your in your doing, however, maybe we can talk about, because I'm interested how you do it, because I know for myself, you know, I'm a little bit older now, that if you're not true to yourself, you will always suffer. There's always something wrong with you. Something is not really, you're not really, first of all, you didn't have your full potential. You have there, because even the bad things can be used for good things, you know. If you are kind of egocentric and you want to drive something, you know, it can push you through a hard time or something. Anyway, I guess you know all this. I don't have to, but I'm kind of, this is the vibe I'm getting from you.
It's nice, go on. I love reflection. Maybe our audience are also interested in this.
Okay, yeah, you know, this is what I told you. You know, I want a nice conversation, and the music is usually the starting point. But I talked about, you know, how you say, mushrooms with other people and drugs and stuff. So, you know, okay. Anyway, my point is, you know, just with some simple fact where everyone in mostly everyone in the normal society would think, okay, gay marriage is not a big deal. I would hurt someone actually quite close to me in saying that, and if I don't say it, I hurt myself. So this is now I forgot where we started from, but yeah, you answered my question that it doesn't really matter which language we are using. We just have to use it to the full capacity. And I
Yeah.
completely agree with you because I think in German, especially in German, with the compound words or so, we can say almost everything. And I'm also, I like words a lot. And if you think of, like Goethe and Schiller and stuff, all the words we don't use anymore. There's so much cool stuff we can use, and it sounds odd if you. I cannot think of some old school word we are not. Anyway, but you answered my question, and this is I completely agree. You need to be your own, and also going back to the music now. Yeah, if you're just this wishy-washy artist, kind of not offending anyone, this also means you're kind of what I said in the beginning, your elevator music or something. It's kind of like everyone else. I'm this pop thing, but you have no contour. You have no edge. No something I can kind of grind upon. Something I can get. Wo man sich dran reiben kann. Ich komme jetzt nicht auf das Englische. Where you can kind of where I really
Yes.
get some. I agree or don't agree. I rather
Mm.
have someone who I disagree with, and try to understand his point than somebody where I completely. I mean, even if you agree now, this is nice, of course, but it's more interesting to have an open mind and kind of getting challenged by your ideas and stuff. So. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling on,
It's
and
not a problem.
so, but back to you now, please, if you want. How do you? And then we stop this, and because I have a few more questions, but let's see how far we go here. How do you do it? How do you work with your clients? How do you get this? Because this could be interesting for the audience. How to kind of become yourself.
It's a very individual thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I'm using individual methods
Mm.
with everyone. So, some people are already more reflective. They
Mm-hmm.
already know their pains. They already know what they would like to express. Some don't.
Mm-hmm.
Some don't even communicate at all, and it's hard for them to communicate at all, for
Mm-hmm.
example.
And how do you get your client? I mean, if you wanna, don't give me any details, of course, but how do they find you, and how do you because like what you just said, the latest one, if you have somebody who cannot express themselves quite well, they might know that they have a problem, but how do they find you? How do they know? Oh, there's somebody who can help me with that. They still need to be this reflective to get to this point.
I'm still, my website
Hmm.
is on her way.
Good.
She's in the process.
Mm,
It is in the process, of course, but
mm,
I did it on purpose. It will happen hopefully in January, that my thought cosmos will be available for everyone. And there you can find there you will find more details how I work, and also about music. It's about everything
mhm,
I offer, actually. And now it's with the help of contacts with the people I work. Sometimes it's also for writers, because I'm doing the editing of books,
mhm,
and then yeah, to express yourself with the right writing, to find your right style, is also very close to
mhm,
this.
mhm.
Yeah, to
Okay,
this exploring your own language, the core of your own language.
that's cool. I've never heard of this, but once. she is online. You can send it to me, and I can still put it, under this video once it will upload it, and so I can re-edit it later on and put it in there. Because I think it's a very important task to basically, I mean, that's what I kind of thought of life coach. You wouldn't call it this way. I understand it, but it's important to be yourself, basically. So that you kind of, and also not just being yourself, but also kind of getting this filter right, because we're living in a society, and some things you should say, some things you shouldn't. I mean, there's like I'm a man, and sometimes I see a nice woman and I say, "Oh man, you look good," in my head. And if I would say it out loud, then it would be like, "Oh, what's this creepy guy here?" and stuff. But I kind of got to the point where I'm like, I do it because if my thoughts are honest and sincere. Then I can say it because it's the intention. Sometimes, I don't need swear words, for example, to kind of be not nice to someone. I can use normal words, and you should know this better than me, of course. That words can really hurt. But if you have good intentions and say something like, "Oh man, this dress really looks good on you," and stuff, this is how you. We Germans have a problem with that because usually you get that they are like, "Oh, he wants something from me," and what's going on here, and this is creepy. But I'm kind of like, beep it. I just do it because I realize, like we're talking now, that it is in me, and I want to, because most people really like it if you make them a compliment. But Germans are usually not very complimenting. And this is not. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's something so nice and so simple to brighten the day for someone, and for me, like you just give it. It makes me whole because I'm seeing someone, and oh man, you look good, and if I can say that. Um, it makes me happy. It makes her happy, or him, or whatever. I'm kind of. I say this to a man as well. I freaked out my
Yeah, me
father.
too. I also, when I see a nice woman, or I'm communicating this to women
Hmm.
because we are people, and when I can use, when you say something like this, you can find also lots of words to describe it so that it
Hmm.
doesn't sound like, wow, I want to drag you into the dark corner and do something to you. You
Hmm.
can describe it
Hello, you
detail.
look nice, you little.
Exactly.
Come here, baby.
Oh
Of course,
God,
you
yes,
could. I could do that, but
exactly.
I'm. Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yes, and you can describe in detail what you really like,
Hmm.
what gives this person a shimmer,
Hmm.
if it's a smile or
Hmm.
something on the dress, a small detail.
Hmm.
And it's not like, wow, you look good, wow, you look
Hmm.
sexy.
Hmm.
So it describes more, it defines more what you really love, and the
Hmm.
person understands it less degrading, maybe, or
Hmm.
less
Or objectified, like,
confusing,
yeah.
objectifying.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yes.
One day, a nice elderly lady was standing next to me, and I was like, "Oh wow, you have a really nice perfume. You smell really good." And she was very happy, and it was absolutely clear that I didn't want anything else. But I could kind of, she was very happy, and then she tracked on with her rollator, and so, but it was like, kind of like, oh man, it smells really good. I like that. Okay, we doing this in English, but recently I stumbled across this very ancient word, reizend. In German we say, "Oh, she's reizend," and I realized that reizen. How can you do? What's the translation of reizend? It's um, kind of
Enchanting person,
in,
but it's mehr
yeah, but
bezaubern.
it's reizend is kind of sexually connotated, I think, but
Yes.
it is allowed to use. Sie sieht reizend aus, and if you really think about it, ein reizendes Fräulein. It means like she kind of encourages, not encourages, that's not the right word, but she kind of gets a feeling in you, oh man, she really looks good and stuff. And I realize, like you said, with our words are so rich and so colorful, but we sometimes lost the meaning of it. Also, yeah, that we don't really use them like we were intended to. And of course, I know, and you know this better than me. Language is a living thing. It's not kind of set in stone. We don't talk like 100 years ago or something, and that's fine. It's sometimes a little bit sad because we know, we're talking English, and we German is kind of scattered with Anglicism. Anglophonic words and stuff. So you know this as well as I do, and we're talking English, so we're kind of enhancing this. But I realize that we're so. If you really think about it, especially like this word, I realize it kind of means maybe some sexual tension, and I don't mean, like you said, I don't want to drag someone in the dark corner and rape or something. I don't mean that, but it's kind of like, yeah, man, she looks good, and she is. There is an aura there. There is a shimmer. There is a glow, and I can feel it, and I can there's some tension, and this is also all the fun. If you think about it. If we kind of put this away and like in communist China, in Maoist China, where everyone was wearing the same thing, like 1984, everyone looked the same. I of course know that women bodies, mostly men also, but mostly women, are exploited, and they're used for cheap selling things, sex sells, and so this as well as I do, but. I mean, we still do it because it still works, because we are still humans and we are still triggered to kind of see that. And with the same with words. I've lost my train of thought, but what was I saying? But here we come. Oh, I can make the thing back to you.
Yeah.
But here we come to this whole person again, because this is all there and we cannot change it. This is evolutionary. It is important that we kind of find other people sexy and want to procreate and kind of, this is all fine. This is naturally needed for having our civilization still going. But if we overdo it and kind of objectify and over-sexify or whatever you call it, then it becomes a problem. Then it becomes, something weird and something really not healthy. So in a way, to become a whole person, you need to know, at least that's my point of view, of course, that there is this sexual attraction and there is all this, I'm married, I'm happy, but I still, I'm not blind. I'm still seeing other people who are looking good. And, it would be a lie when I say, oh, she looks nice, so, and this kind of
Part of
brings
our
me back.
nature. Yeah,
Exactly,
it's a
this
part.
is
All the
whole.
emotions are parts of our nature. I mean, this is a need, but all our emotions are also so needs. So, but we don't necessarily need communist China or communist dictatorship. Look what capitalism brings to us. We are so normed in our communication, in the way we dress, what we think we have to do, how we have to work, how we have to live, how we have to love. That's also a capitalist thing, yeah. I mean, it's a normified or normed world we live in.
Because you just
And
said with a laugh, I just talked with a coworker about it. He's a little bit unhappy at the moment, but I'm not going to say his name. But I told him about I read an article or I saw something about it. The Disneyfication of love. You know that Hollywood kind of gave us everything has to be the happy end, and in the end, you know, the girl gets the boy or the boy gets the girl or whatever, and then we live happily ever after, like in the fairy tales and stuff. And you know, I'm pretty sure, as well as I know, that the work starts after that. You know, the honeymoon and the lovey-dovey feeling is really nice, and we all enjoy it. But then, you know, staying with one together for a longer period of time, once these feelings subside and some, you know, and you know, it gets replaced by harmony in the best way, but sometimes you grow apart, and you know, you lose contact with your partner, and you're just living there because, you know, once you did a commitment, and but you're not talking with each other anymore. You got my point, I guess. You know, it's all fine when the emotions and the serotonin and everything flows, all the hormones in your body are woof, you know. But after a while, it subsides, and it's good that it subsides, because you cannot live in this complete state of euphoria all the time. I mean, this is a drug as well. Like, you know, it would kind of you could not do anything else anymore, because you would always think constantly on your other one, and you know. But you know, you have to work, and you have to kind of take care of other things and whatever. So.
And you have to keep contact to yourself. That's
exactly
it.
Exactly. Because once you're in this, it's a good point. Once you're in this phase, you kind of think just on the other one. What can I make to make her or him happy? And you know, kind of, you're very selfless in this moment, and that's okay. That's fine. It's good. It's Mother Nature talking with you.
It has to procreate.
Exactly. You know, mankind needs to survive. But it also makes you. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead.
Our kind needs to survive, which brings us somehow. It's interesting. I don't want to force us to talk about the new album.
But that's perfect.
But
it's a perfect segue.
Everything we are talking about is especially is somehow included in what we transport with the new album. So the fragment stuff we were talking about. It was fragments Jan produced and we were working with, but it's also about the fragments of ourselves we were talking about. We're talking about nature, poems of an extinct species. We are talking about the humankind. It's clear what we mean with extinct species. So what will happen what will be found when we don't live on this planet anymore, when we, so to say, the dinosaur bones, what will these dinosaur, right? You see, it's not sour, it's sour. Dinosaur bones will be, and it's exactly this. It's love. It's the connection we have to each other. It's the connection we have to other creatures living with us on this planet. So we are essentially a part of nature and not living beside nature, and what we are mostly doing, living against it, and not
raping nature, kind of, almost.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the story of this album as well. So so everything we were talking about will be included in the songs.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're a perfect marketing person here.
No, I don't want.
No, but I mean, in a way, you're absolutely right, because this is, you know, it's good because you're talking about something that is relevant. That's not kind of, but you don't do it in the punk way, you know, like where you say, okay, this is the right thing and this is the wrong way. This is kind of, you give you kind of take your audience seriously to explore it for yourself, for themselves, you know, that they can find it themselves. Because I hate it if you take me, and shove it down my throat, and this is the right thing, and this is the wrong thing, and this is exactly how do I know how you have to think? You know for yourself that everyone is different. So everyone has a different perspective, a different biography, a different upbringing, a different perspective of life. And I just wanted to close this in very big now. If you all know this, and you know how tough it is even with German speaking people to find all this. I'm always fascinated, and with some very positive thing, how well we go along in the world. If you see how many misconceptions and misunderstandings there are just with the people who are in the same country, with kind of the same upbringing, with the same language, how many misunderstandings are there, how little misunderstandings are there on a global scale, how well we as a human species get along. I mean, it's not perfect, and there's always screw-ups, and there's always radicals or whatever. But as a whole, I'm always fascinated, because it happens to me too. I have a friend, and we continually, I have to always mirror back to him what he said to me, because we speak the same language. We grew up in the same area. But I misunderstand him quite often. And so, and I'm a thoughtful person. I try to get it right. But and so if you see this on a global scale, it's fascinating that we are doing so well as a human species. And I wanted to say this to the audience, that be thankful for that people still can get along, because, going back to you now, if you are true to yourself, and if you're whole and honest with yourself, when you kind of get this your antennas right for empathy and for things, when you can feel if you hurt someone, or if it's the right approach or not. There's I think I worked once with a Japanese. So for their culture, it's really tough for us to. I mean, Germans are also not very expressive usually, but Japanese are kind of taught to not express their feelings, and kind of have a facade and things. So here, I have trouble to understand how is it going, and how does my words affect here. But anyway, as a whole, it works quite well, and that's a cool fact.
It does, especially, and we see this in the situation of the pandemics, that we actually are doing well as a species, and that we can make it globally, all of us, and that we can, we have all our part in making this world a better place, and this virus is somehow a sign. It's a demanding thing. It's actually nature calling for us, showing us how wrong our systems and how vulnerable our systems are that we created. And at the same time, how fruitful we communicate and work together as humankind globally. Because it doesn't matter if we live in Germany or in Russia or in Zimbabwe, and only to name 3 countries that would come to my mind. Yes, we are doing well, although there are some critical issues happening at the moment, which would be so very political, and what I see in Germany, which worries me, but generally we are doing quite well, I would say.
Yeah, and as you just said it, I think also with the virus, in a way, it will the global community, it will get a little bit closer together, because people will realize, or I hope they will, of course, that it doesn't matter if all the Germans get the vaccine. It's not enough. The whole world needs the vaccine, because this would mean we only can stay in Germany and we shouldn't allow anyone in or out, because as soon as we go out, we can get in contact with other people and whatever, and it's not safe. So the world is only safe again if everyone gets it. If everyone is vaccinated, or at least immune, or whatever. There's different ways of getting it, or kind of surviving it. And this kind of can also bring us together, because this means, okay, we all need to work on this together, because it's a global pandemic, and it's not just one city shut down and then it's done. It's global. So this might
when we
be
spread it, when we spread it in one country. We don't realize what happened to other countries, or not. We don't realize what even happens to people living with us in our own country. That when we spread it, then there will be measures again, then there will be closed shops, people losing their existence, and all that kind of stuff, or people who are working in other countries which are much poorer, have bad health system, and are really starving or dying, not only from corona, but also from hunger. That when we are not doing something to prevent it, that it spreads, that they will lose their lives, actually, because they are connected to our economy. They don't get any money because we order less, because our economy suffers, and for example, the textile industry, when people are working in, for example, India or so, and we say, no, we don't need that much clothes now at the moment, they don't have anything. And they have much less beneficial situation, like we have in Europe, most of the European countries.
If we complain on a very high level. Nobody dies here, or nobody has no job anymore. We have anyway. We can be very.
We don't have a job. Yeah, for many people, it's really their existence is. It's scattered, but it's another level, and that's I think everyone in this world is responsible for what happens in the world. It's not only when I'm doing this, I have no responsibility for what happens to nature or to other people. That's wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, in mine as well. I completely agree. And the thing is, and okay, maybe closing thought, and when we move on a little bit.
Sure.
This is. I'm just want to say I'm completely agree here, because it's every single person's responsibility to make this place better. It's easy to complain and say, oh, this is not good, and they need to do something, or sometimes they don't want the government involved at all, and then they want the government involved. You cannot have it both ways. In English you say you cannot have your cake and eat it too. So either, anyway, my point of view is you have to start on your own. You can do your little things. I don't own a car. This shirt I found in the trash, and it's still good, and I still can wear it. I haven't bought new stuff in I don't know, in years, because I have so much stuff. I first have to kind of use. Clothes. And there's always ways you can repair things. You don't need to throw it out. And so be responsible with the stuff you got. This doesn't mean you should not enjoy life and you should go on a nice trip or vacation or whatever. Do that, but do it responsibly. And think about your footprint and anyway, let's be use the world like we have only this one. Use it responsibly. We cannot we cannot get along in raping nature all the time. We kind of have to pay a price one day, and we just shift it to the coming generation, and this is not nice at all. So okay, maybe we could go on forever, but I'm looking at the time,
For
and
sure.
and we're already over an hour. So we still can talk, no problem. But I want to shift it back a little bit to music, and so can you? Okay, with Art Noir, I guess there will be no live renditions, not just because of the pandemic, but because of Jan's circumstances, and so there is no live things planned, right?
No, there are no. There's no performance or no performances are planned
Hmm.
because I'm also not. I've not been on stage anymore since 2004.
Wow, that's long.
Yeah, and I decided to not doing it anymore because, yeah, I love to perform, but it's somehow, yeah, it's a critical condition for me.
Okay.
Um,
If
and
you
I
don't want to talk
like,
about it, then don't talk about it. I don't want to force you to.
yeah, I like to, when I'm listening to music, I want to feel it, and I'm listening to the music and inhaling it with headphones
Hmm.
and having my own being in my own world. So many musicians will kill me now for, probably because I say that I I don't love big masses. So I also don't like to attend concerts only sometimes when it's
Hmm.
Sigur Rós, or
Hmm.
sometimes I'm going to the beautiful Pohoda festival, which is happening in Slovakia,
Hmm.
usually every year, and but only when I have much space and
Hmm.
I can enjoy it.
Hmm.
So that's one reason I'm not performing that
I see.
much.
I see. Okay.
And when I can give with my voice to someone who is sitting at home having his headphones and feeling something, that's the best thing, which
Hmm.
can happen. Yeah, I know that some people are asking us to perform as musicians, and many musicians, they can't live without it. And
Hmm. Hmm.
that's, yeah, for some people, it's horrible to do, for example, online performances. I don't think that this is a bad thing.
Hmm.
Um, we can also be close to our audience
Hmm.
online.
Yeah, you can
It's
even
the
chat with
same with
them.
love. Yeah, we
Hmm.
can chat.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
It's possible to love
Hmm.
online.
Hmm.
When the feelings are still there. We are still
Hmm.
humans from flesh and bones. We are no
Hmm.
no robots. It's only a screen. Of course, it's different. It's another form of energy.
Hmm.
It's not physical in the sense with the other person. Or with the audience, because sometimes you feel the energy of the audience or of the person performing on stage. That's different, of course, but it's possible.
Hmm.
And maybe we have to find new ways to communicate in the future.
Hmm.
Yeah, this maybe would be an idea to do it, to make an online format and to show our music online. But
Hmm.
people can listen to it worldwide anytime.
Hmm. Yeah, this would be interesting. I mean, like a live stream or something, like a live concert. And so you could do it in a very, nice, in an environment where you are, kind of feel safe and really can let go. Because I was a little bit surprised, as you said this, because in the beginning you said that, for you, music is more than just the words and the singing. It's also dancing. It's kind of your whole body is affected by it. So
Yeah,
I would have expected that you kind of say, "Oh, I love performing because I like to be in the moment, in the mood." And you know um, I just talked with a friend about it when yesterday I had my radio show, and I'm playing music in my radio show, right? that's what the radio show is. But I hate to just sit down and okay, this song is from and now play it, and then I wait for the song is over, and then I kind of like, "Oh, I cannot sit here because I chose the music and I like it. So I started to dance with the music, and then people can laugh about this, but I think it's normal if you hear something you love, and I mean here I chose it, I chose to do it, and to just move yourself because it's. I mean, how bad is it when you make music and there's no reaction and you're just sitting there and waiting
Yes.
until it's over
Yeah.
and then you play the next one. This is really
Yeah, the
boring,
body
So
moves automatically. Yeah,
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
a
so like
trigger.
if you start with your
That's
head and
natural.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, I was just because this happens to me. So I'm kind of this is like music is an energy beam that hits you and then you just move. And last night it was quite funny because I had a friend here, and then my daughter came and we my studio is very small and we all were dancing and it was really fun. Um,
Cool.
so okay, that's why I was a little bit surprised to hear that from you. But I get it that it's the crowd issue, and I have to admit I'm also not a big fan of big crowds because it's kind of like yeah, it's a lot of people, and I don't like it that much. But yeah, no, I get it. But I would
Yeah,
have thought.
it's not about the people or each or every of them, it is that was probably a grammatical mistake.
Yeah, no problem.
But no, um, people will understand what I mean, hopefully, because every individual person um, means much to me because it's the energy of everyone. But when it's in a crowd, I'm just feeling it's so intense. I'm feeling too much
Hmm.
acoustically. I don't know. It is something I realized. I had it already very early as a
Hmm.
child, but I realized it much later that it's really something spooky for me when I'm
Hmm.
when I'm overwhelmed, and then I need space, and yeah, that's also why I love to be alone or only meet individual with people.
Hmm. Hmm. I think I
So
got it. I got it now. It's kind of like the music takes you away so much that you kind of get into a transcendent thing, and you're kind of and then you need your free space because people cannot deal with that you're kind of you're entrückt, enchanted. You're somewhere, on a different plane, basically, and then you kind of lose your surroundings, and people can take advantage of it, or don't understand it and think, oh, she's weird, or so. Or what?
nee, nee,
No,
nee.
no,
I
no.
have to
I got it
control.
wrong.
No,
Okay,
no, no. That's
when
not
please
what I.
explain.
No.
Okay, then I forgot.
Uh,
I got you wrong.
no, that's not what I mean. Um, um, it's more being in masses, the feeling of people. It has nothing to do with the music. It's in
Ah,
it's in
okay.
general.
Ah,
So
okay. Sorry, then I got you wrong.
yeah, no, no, no problem. We have to contradict sometimes,
Hmm.
because we had
It's it's in
or to
our
do with
nature, but we can talk about it. We find the
or not
words to talk about
understand
it.
it.
Hmm.
That's actually not a
Hmm.
discussion.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
just that you didn't that I maybe not put it the right way also,
Hmm. Hmm. No, but yeah, that's good.
um, yeah, it's more about the feeling when there are too many people, but every individual I appreciate, and it's not about. Before I was quite hateful against people because there was a
Hateful,
time.
hateful.
Yeah, there
You
was a
really mean
time I
okay?
was, because I I I thought people are just cruel. You are
Hmm.
disappointed by people and their nature. There can't be any good. That was
Hmm.
a phase. And
Okay.
then I thought, it's because of this. It's because I'm a social phobic, and But I'm actually not. It's just a form of sensitivity. I appreciate people very much, and I love the beauty of people. You know, you can see when someone smiles, or when someone tells about what she or he loves, and or also the sadness. It's something so beautiful when someone opens up or enjoys music. Um,
I
Back
see.
to you.
I think now I get it, that it's kind of like in the crowds you miss the intimacy you have with a one-on-one person, kind of. You want to be
Yes.
intimate. I mean, intimate not in a sexual way. Intimate in a in a, I don't know, in a
Yeah,
communication way.
so communicative.
Yeah, exactly, in a way, and you cannot do that with crowds, and that's I
Mhm.
can understand. Maybe this is the issue. You kind of want to
I
give
can't manage
every
it.
single one the attention he or she deserves, but you cannot, and this kind of overwhelms you and makes you unhappy. Then we're back to the whole person thing again. I
Yeah,
can understand
perfect.
that. Oh, see, okay,
Yeah.
I get you after a while.
Mhm.
Okay, but thank you. Now you answered this, and when just because you mentioned you were in strict confidence, and they're quite big in Germany. For people who don't know them, check them out. We're making cool music. So this is a funny question I always ask, and maybe if you don't have, that's fine. Were you ever starstruck or something? I mean, did you share the stage with people where you were like, oh, I'm meeting person X, or was there something like this, or other question, kind of the same. Was there any funny incident when you were on the road on tour, and some funny stuff happened on stage or backstage? If if it's PG-13 and you can share it, I
Yeah,
try
yeah.
to keep it, not kids. It's not kids friendly, but I mean, keep it audience friendly.
It will be. Um, yeah, it will. For me, it was not funny at all, but later it was. Yeah, it was. It was an incident on stage when I had a long skirt. I wore a long skirt, and I was dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And I stepped on my skirt and fell.
Oh, okay.
And I tried to make a choreography out of it. And the people in the first row, they were smiling at me brightly and
Mm-hmm.
generously, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not a problem. I was just going on in my program. So the song was very melancholic, of course, Au milieu
Mm-hmm.
des anges,
Mm-hmm.
a slow song. Yeah, that it is what happened. And of course, when you lose track of your lyrics, which can happen to all
Mm-hmm.
of us, you know, especially singers. And Dennis and I, we were desperately communicating about what comes next. Yeah, that's it. And
Yeah.
um, yes,
Okay.
starstruck. Not really. If it would be probably, yeah, I love to meet people I appreciate, and I also tell it to them. I'm not, I'm telling everyone when I appreciate something she or he did. But yeah, if it would have been Sigoros, I
Mm, okay.
or a big dream of me is to, I bet it's really utopia, you know, to perform with Massive Attack one day. Not performing, but to sing,
Hmm.
to feature a song.
Have you have you
Utopia, but
have
that's,
you reached out
yeah.
to them? I mean, do they know about the stream?
Not yet.
Ah, okay, okay. Of course,
Not
after this
yet.
video, they will just contact you.
Oh my God, yes, for sure
Oh,
they
for
will.
sure, for sure. Okay, now
Yeah, but I want to.
hmm?
The thing with In Strict Confidence, which is really nice, is that we met again for this album
Hmm.
because Stefan actually produced most of our songs,
Hmm.
and he's playing also drums on two tracks. And
Hmm.
Dennis did our video for Thorns and Lilies.
Hmm.
Lilies. So we worked together on the new Art Noir album in different roles this time, but so this was kind of reunion
Okay,
also.
that's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of I like that, or let's put music is such a nice thing to have, and I don't think that you have to be kind of, how you say, very protective or something. That okay, if they are successful, that's not good. There's less for me from the cake. I don't think it's the way it is. Because there's so much music out there, and there's enough fans for all of us, and like I am, I like your music. I also like In Strict Confidence, and I like really hard music. Why I sometimes don't get that there is such a elbow mentality, that if they are doing well, that's not good. I don't want them to be happy or be better than us and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm happy to hear that, there is still camaraderie in musicians and stuff, because we're not chipping away things of each other, and taking away market shares and whatever.
It's
So
about the music.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And
it's
if
really about
good
the music.
music is cool, and I don't you don't have to, going back to the whole person thing. If you like some other music, that's fine as well, and if you appreciate what we're doing, be happy for them. I don't get why people are sometimes like, oh, he's so much better. He has more fans and whatever.
Yeah.
So what the heck? I mean, be happy for him. It's cool. He or she worked for it, most likely.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
There
would
must be a reason.
pardon me?
There must be a reason for the
Yeah,
success.
yeah, but
Whatever that reason might be.
exactly. They maybe need to talk with you, because we are not a whole person. Because kind of this is also, being whole means also that you kind of appreciate and be happy for others as well. That
Yes.
it's so nice to, in Deutsch sagen wir ja geteilte Freude, nee, geteiltes Leid halbes Leid und geteilte Freude doppelte Freude. And it means shared misery is half the misery, and shared joy is double the joy. And so I see it as well. Why it doesn't take away from me if some of my friends are really successful or whatever. So it's cool, and it's cool that I know them, and happy and congratulate them. Anyway, I would kind of, because we're now quite over the 1 hour mark.
Oh, wow.
No problem. It was really my pleasure. It was fun talking with you. I just want to kind of wrap it up a little bit. So, do you have something, some last words for the? I mean, don't get it wrong, not last words, but like some words for the world you want to share. So, some ending, closing statements, basically.
Explore yourself, discover your nature, be part of this world, so that we are not so soon an extinct species.
Good, and you got the segue back to perfect. You are. Jan will be proud of you. Jan will be proud of you.
Oh,
So
hopefully.
so thank you very much for your time. Yeah, and I hope
Thank
to
you.
hear more from you, and I hope Jan will send me all of your music. I will play it in my show, of course, and if it suits, I will put it in my playlist as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tobias.